Hi, hello. Hi, hello. My name is Julia, and I could be your erotic photographer. And today I'm going to talk about nude photography. This is going to be a lesson about how client feels. Okay, what's happening during the erotic photo shoot and specifically nude photography, and why the person feel this way, what develops, and what is behind the emotions and the situations, right? And let me start from a simple story. Just recently I had a photo shoot with a male, okay, mature male in his 50s, and he booked a nude photo shoot, and he selected service a VIP because he considered himself as a VIP person. Most likely that's why he chose this service. And the thing is that the reason why I'm talking about this particular case is because every photo shoot what's related to undressing, okay, is different, at least for me. So basically, how to say, you can create a standard service which you can represent to your client, right? Like you're cooking fish and chips. You're using a cod, you're using this butter, oil, and you're cooking fish and chips. And you can cook this fish and chips, right? But my services are totally created in a different way. Just because I think that there is a reason why people are going to shoot nude photography, and you as a photographer responsible, okay, to create a certain experience, okay. And because I have a medical background, my approach is to help people during that photo shoot, to help as much as I can, to understand, to connect, right? And what has special about this client happened that he extremely delayed and wanted to take time, as much time as possible. So he didn't want to jump into the photo shoot. So the moment he arrived, he told me that he has to reply very important emails or whatever, right? He opened his notebook. He asked me to do him tea and then later a coffee, and he was replying to emails. Then he suddenly started making some kind of like salaries to send it and stuff, and he asked me to help him. I said, maybe you have a secretary. And he said, yes, I have two secretaries. I said, so why they not doing this? Oh, they're not allowed to see financial information, and I am photographer in my studio planning a nude photo shoot and sitting near his laptop computer with this guy. Why I am saying this to you, okay? Because no matter how VIP, no matter how important, no matter how mature you are, some people are absolutely scared, okay, to start and to go into this process, into action, and scared, of what will happen, okay? And so he needed to get time to know you. Basically, the reason why he took this time and I gave this time is because some guys cannot get an erection very quickly, especially with a stranger, okay? And nude photography, I mean, it does involve some erection. I mean, it's a guy's pride to have an erection and be able to produce, how to say, to perform, yes. And that was the issue, and I didn't understand that at first. I said, that's weird, just absolutely strange. I mean, seriously, he took 45 minutes to have a tea, the coffee. I helped him. I was sitting next to him and I was chatting to him, and then I would start joking, like saying maybe I should be your secretary and stuff. Oh, no, I don't think this way. So that's what I'm saying. When you are meeting that person, imagine if I would put him in a studio and force him. It would be like, it would be not a natural energy, it will be forced, okay? So now I know why this person booked a VIP photo shoot, because the moment I saw him, I thought, no, he needed a standard shoot. Why he would pay double? Okay, it's a simple, like in my evaluation was a simple guy, I would just shoot a simple, how to say, service with him and we will be done. No, it took a lot of time. He also told me that he want to be in charge during the photo shoot. So that's why this VIP experience would include that he will tell me what to do in my studio, because he know a little bit of the photography and he does this and that, so he's familiar. Okay, so when you learning yourself to do a photography, you must realize that you will meet those clients who know more than you, or think that they know more than you, or even tell you what to do and know best. Okay, so my advice is to ignore, okay, all of that, because these are just scared people. Okay, and what might think they know, it does not apply to them directly. So I listened to all of that. Actually, that person's energy translated and give me information which I understood. I felt uncomfortable being in my own studio with that person. Okay, so I can imagine how much uncomfortable that person felt. Okay, so first of all, he was good looking. Okay, he had low self-esteem. Okay, he thinks that he was very, how to say, important and taking a position, and he's the boss, and his company, and this he wanted to show off and impress me. So somehow, which nothing worked on me, because I have seen more serious people, right? Okay, but I'm saying all this pathos at the start, when you have to actually work psychologically, okay, and provide the service. Usually, people would go and see the shrink, a psychologist, and pay for that, how to say, hour for that information that you are talking, chatting, and sharing all those things, because he asked me many things about how to say woman, how women react in men at the men's body, what is important for women, how important is the cock size, and all those kind of things. So it clearly indicates, like I say, people are usually, when they're doing erotic photo shoot, nude photo shoot, would tell you what they are scared of. Okay, what are their inhibitions, what are their pain points, what are the problems they assume about themselves, right? And it will just make you harder and harder actually to shoot, so instead of, because how I do, if you would go and jump and do your certain routine, like people cook fish and chips again and again and again, it would not be that helpful, okay, and effective to that individual, to that person. So this guy stayed the longest. It was the longest introduction and longest consultation that I had. And I was actually sorry that I didn't charge him a VIP fee, at the end, because it took a lot of time. But uh, it's good now, because I have a story to tell. So every shoot which you will book, I can tell you, if you're doing your job well or to the best ever standard, you don't know what to expect. And people are coming with different limitations, with different blocks, and with different problem. And with this guy, it was a very, very complicated shoot. First, he expected that you would react and you would shoot straight away, so you would be on point. Your photography, okay, how to say, usually I test and take time and stuff, but he wanted me to jump around and, and just like that, okay, which is fine, and I'm quite good at technical side, okay, to provide this. But what I'm saying is to you that the technical side, when you're providing the service, will come naturally, and you will learn. At least if you will, how to say, you will take few techniques, okay, repeat them again and again to make those safe shots. Like I say to you, starting from the same shots, you already halfway. Okay, what is the hardest thing is to deal with these type of clients. Okay, and everyone who would come for a photo shoot, they would pretend that they're not scared and stuff, start, doing strange things, or stuff. Okay, they would think that they know very well about what to do and how to do in erotic photography, and then when I start explaining him and showing and telling him how to do, and then when I proved my point, then he shut up and just listened. Okay, because we would not be able to produce if he would not listen what I say, right? He doesn't see himself, okay, on the other side of the lens, and only I am the one who evaluate the picture, evaluate the light, evaluate the pose, and evaluate the energy. Okay, so it is very important, I always repeat, before you will start your nude photography with the person, you must make sure that the person is comfortable to go ahead and do this service. And even they come to your studio to have a photo shoot, like I say, mature people, just because this is the first time ever. Okay, and the reason why they're doing these experiences is because they want to find out and challenge themselves and just get that data and information. So what was wrong and what data I received, okay, and what he received from that shoot. He received this information that he is, like I say, he had a sexy face, right? I mean, the beautiful face. Okay, and I can see that he was like a macho, and going around the gals and stuff. I can see on his face, right, that he can flirt and be like that, with you. But he was not in control of his vehicle. Okay, he was not control and not aware of his body. Okay, he didn't know how to represent his masculine side to the point that, how to say, to the point that will satisfy, me and my photography. So I had to show him, I had to pose him all the time, and as well, he failed during the erection part, okay? Because as much as he's tried, okay, and he has a sexy, laid back, relaxed photographer woman in front of him, he failed to create an erection shot, okay? He just could not control, and that's what I see, okay? The problem why people are afraid to do erotic photography is for that particular reason, that they are owning this body, they live in this body, and they do not know their body. They do not know their body. That is why we need erotic photographers and nude photography to represent this direction, to give people data about their bodies so they finally will understand and see for themselves, not that image which they've created, or even if they've created this image which does not satisfy them, right? So, how to say, if you're a healthy person, right, and you understand consciously what you're doing, your vehicle, your body should go that way where you're trying to drive, right? So if you're trying to get an erection and you're failing and you can't do it, and no matter how you try, you can't, that means you're not driving. Okay? For these clients like that, I've created this tantric photoshoot experience when people are not controlling their body and with their erection. Okay, or people who are in control, right, but they cannot last. Okay, and they're very quick, they're like that, that is also in control because they cannot do this properly, right? Because the problem when in nude photography, guys are always asking, I'm not a model, I'm not looking like a model, and what if I'm not gonna perform, or what will happen in this, or I have a big tummy, and this all the indication, these people who are actually not in control of their bodies, they look in particular side, they usually overweight over their tummy area. I'm not saying about everyone, right? Okay, but they do how to say, create that kind of a feminine energy, and they represent that side more, okay, than the masculine. Okay, the reason why it happens, of course, it's a hormonal reason, right? But we are here driving our vehicle. We are here doing everything what we can to balance that body, right? And adult photography, specifically nude photography, is directed not only to represent your shape, not only to represent the way you are at your particular age, okay, which it is, yeah, but also to work with your emotional level, right? And emotional levels always in erotic nude photography comes out as a inhibitions and blocks in a certain way. And when you have those blocks in a certain way, you develop a certain body. Okay? You look certain way. You think certain way, you feel certain way, and you look certain way. Okay? And you go with those problems to have that photo shoot taken. Okay? And no matter how much we tried, and he tried, he couldn't. His body wasn't listening to him. So for someone, it is very easy, okay, how to say, like that. And for someone, it's impossible. And the more I live and the more I see, the more I understand that this is getting a very big problem with mature people, okay? Because somehow this guy was convinced that, how to say, the older he will get, the erection, and everything will just stop. Okay, that's how they think. So if they think this way, if they put that and place that limitation already, they're not even there yet. That's exactly what will happen. Okay, because we know power of the words and we know power of the thought, right? So that is why I am telling you the story. Okay, people have so many limitations, and the reason why they come to the photo shoot is, one is to celebrate. Yes. And the second is to solve some problems they have about their bodies, the way they feel, the way they look, or the way they can create. The sexual energy is the biggest problem of this century, because people do not understand how to be in their body, how to control, it, how to control it. They had no trainings. Okay, they did not pay attention, and they did not work with it. Okay, and I can tell you a very simple example from my life. Okay, one of my ex, okay, he had this understanding that this is not his job. Okay, that this is my responsibility, to make him hard and have sex. Okay, and after 3 years, I remember asking him why it's not happening, why we do not have sex, and he said, because you stopped. Okay, and at that time, it was long time ago, I didn't understand this. I was like, well, why is it me responsible? Why is it? I now understand that he could not control his body by himself. He could not get that energy, the stimulation. He could not get the turn on, and he could not turn me on. It was just zero. That's why he needed me. So when I said, no, you now taking your turns and you are start doing something about it, the easiest way, okay, was just to leave and find some other stimulation, right? And that is exactly what's happening in our society. That's why we do not have long relationships, okay? Or when we have a relationship, it's end quite quickly, right? When the chemical, or this cloud disappears and evaporates, and people do not know how to work with their sexual energy, how to stimulate and how to provide for each other, how to satisfy each other. And when you have that information in your head that someone else is responsible but not you, that someone else need to do this for you but not you, Okay, that's why he probably, when this client came to my studio, he thought that I will need to do something. And there are millions of guys thinking this way, that the photographer has to do something to cause the erection. Okay? And what the photographer can do, if you cannot control your body and you cannot do anything, what the photographer, what me can do for you? Hmm? You understand? So what I'm saying is to you that it is very easy, and people think, oh, it is easy with women. It is easy to shoot nude photography with women, okay? Because yes, you don't need this direct stimulation, and you do not need to actually create this energy to shoot a nude body, right? You don't. But what I'm talking here about is photography with no limit, right? Just to go about and play a nudist in a studio is one thing, right? But to do a real photography, okay, when it comes to creating adult sexual energy and place that into an image, you would need to create a stimulation. And yes, with women, it's less visible, but you still feel it and you can still understand that it's there. Okay. I had those women complaining about lacking this energy. You know what they're saying? That they cannot get wet. Okay. That it is painful, or they do not want to have sex with their partners. Okay. And again, there is a reason why. So they are absolutely fine with the other person. Okay. And it is a problem with your husband. Okay. So again, I'm saying all these symptoms are the blocks, okay, made by those blocks in your head, that something has happened. Maybe she noticed that her husband is doing something inappropriate and it just stuck in her head and she cannot get horny with him. That information in her body translated in this way. A lot of women get a lot of illness. Okay, they all worry about the early menopause, and this is menopause all to blame, and there are a lot of things. But I'm trying to tell you that with nude photography, if you are going into this field, you can solve a lot of things and change people's life. Yes, you can do, and how to say, start from the simple shots, like how to say, shaping the body and posing the body, and just light it right in the many ways. You can light it as much as you want. But what I'm saying is to you that every person who would come in your studio is an opportunity for you, okay, to shine, as an opportunity for you to shine, not as only as a photographer, but connect with that person and help that client to solve a certain problem. And when I am shooting clients without limitations, I can tell you, the same as women struggle to get turned on picture and masturbate and do something, because women will come and say, I'm doing this for my husband. And then they want, to undress, right, left, to show this, and sexual, and that's it. I remember one lady sitting, just sitting. I said, okay, I got those shots. Let's just now do something serious. She's like, what do you mean? I say, let's do some action. Let's create that sexual energy. She's looking at me and she do not understand what that means. I say, you need to touch yourself now. Start rubbing. Yeah, sliding your hands. Start touching. If you cannot stay eyes open, close your eyes. But we're making sexy pictures for your husband. Then your husband, if you really, how to say, you're paying for this shoot. Okay, it is not cheap to shoot at my studio, so let's just do this experience as you're supposed to do, full on. Let's just make those shots where you are absolutely turned on, and I want to document that. Okay? Because your husband would like to see how far you can go. That's the point of the shoot, to challenge and to experiment. And of course, he wants to see those shots because he wants to be turned on too by this information, not by watching online porn. If he's sending his wife, that's what he expects. I know, okay? I know that. Every time when I say this, okay, they agree with me. They agree and they go as far as they can, okay? I never, push anyone to the crazy limit, but I am being honest. I am being honest. They have a chance right here and right now, and we will take this 5-10 minutes to create specific shots. But what if the body is not in control? What if the people cannot go into the stage? Then we have this problem. And yes, I am the one who reveals this problem during the shoot. And yes, there are so many photographers never discuss this, never touch this topic, never, never even in million years it will occur to them why people are going to do this erotic shoot. They're thinking it's all aesthetics. Okay, so what they're trying to do, they're trying to hide all the imperfections. They're trying to copy other photographers who doing, this nude art, be like them. Okay, and that's what they create, just a beautiful picture, which is great. I make those beautiful pictures, but then for me, it is more than that. It is an experience, right? And I want people to understand that this data, which happens on camera and film at my studio, is an information for their mind and for their body and for all the impulses what relates to sexuality and to sexual energy. If the lady is coming to have a photo shoot, she wants to feel sexy. If the guy wants to come and have a photo shoot, he wants to feel sexy. Okay, and we can stage those sexy shots, okay, and they will be all formed, and we can pretend. We always pretend someone else, and someone else is sexy but not you. People very often even didn't find the right way for themselves to feel and express the sexuality. The time came and they want to see and get that data. And I think coming to my studio is just full on, full on the experience, right? So that's why people are booking those shoots. They want sexy pictures. And for me, sexy pictures are more than photography. I had this slide when I was talking about the light, how important is the light during nude photography. Yes, it is important to hide all the imperfections. Yes, it is important to reveal all the best bits and pieces, and every person is different, right? And you can highlight different things about every person. Okay, you will find it definitely. Okay, so that's what you do, right? Yes, it is a photographer's job to connect and try to have more explicit images. I mean, if the person doesn't want and just came for this particular service is fine. But I am always striving for more, and I always want more in my life. And there are so many photographers who cannot do that. Okay, if the person is booking a session at my studio and he found me and he chose me, then I know that's what he wants. Okay, very often they cannot say this out loud, that I would like to push and have a challenge and go over a limit and go overboard with this photo shoot. But I don't need this information. I know that if they chose me from those 100 people who do boudoir photo shoot or whatever, yeah, they're coming for that reason, because they want something more than others can suggest. And there are just few photographers. Yesterday I got this email from the guy from US writing me saying that it is so far to travel for him from US to UK. Can I recommend someone like me in US? And I said no. Not because I, don't want to share the information. Because from US people are writing me and saying me constantly the same thing. So if they could not find when they living in US, how I gonna find one if I'm in the UK? I know that there is no one like me in the UK, because you cannot discuss those things. People are scared, afraid, and shy speak about those situations which are bothering. And I'm not that person who would speak. I want my art, and I want my images explain them the situations which they are in with me. Point and outline why he or she is embarrassed to do this or to do that with me. Why this couple doesn't want to do this and want to do this. Why, it lasted that much and they did just that much, okay? One couple, I remember, came to have a photo shoot, and the guy was constantly, the guy was wanting more and more, and she was like, let's go home. You will finish at home. You will finish at home. You will do this at home, And I was just thinking, why you not allow him to experience this, okay? And I'm not the one who would just say, no, no, you should stay now and you should do this. And she is the boss, if she's saying this way, I can see that she's the boss. It's okay, okay? But this is her limitation. And that's fine. I know that some people are going to this experience as, how to say, doing it for someone. Okay. If you're doing it for your partner, you probably say, okay, I do that much and that much. And then she realized that she did, so many things and tried. And she, of course, enjoyed it and stuff, But like I say, we always go into those things when we're doing something, and especially it happens when you losing your clothes. The moment you undressing and especially in front of someone, the stranger, in front of the camera, you can count on your fingers how many things will be in your head, how many crazy things you will think at that time. Someone who's learning adult or erotic photography, they should test it, that I'm right. They should test, because this is a challenge, okay? And your body saying to you many things. And that's good, because you know what? If you would not have that data, you would not get certain things later. Okay, so you will acquire, and you will move on in a new way, and you can open up more doors for yourself and have more opportunities. Okay, so nude photography, it's a self-development. Okay, very often guys who coming to shoot nude photography say, oh, this is on my bucket list. So to climb an Everest, to climb an Everest or do the bungee jump, and do an erotic photo shoot, nude photo shoot, right? It's a bucket list things. So these are the challenges. Why they are together on that list? Because you need to gather energy and you need to prepare for that thing, right? And imagine when you scared, okay, and you're doing it for that reason that you are scared. I cannot imagine. So what can I say? Universal approach. This is the question what I want to answer. Can it be a universal approach to nude photography? I say no. But then again, there is a standard, like a fast food, business. Okay, and there is a Michelin stars, unique restaurants. Okay, so if we speak this way, okay, then you know that the fast food, it has a very much same approach, right? And when we speak about Michelin stars, we know that there are, oh my gosh, amazing concepts, amazing ideas, and I know the craziest, how to say, options for this food, and this endless creativity, right? So I am on that end, but I'm Michelin stars. I don't want to make my service as a conveyor. I want to make it affordable for people to try it, at least able to test it. But why I am making this? Because I believe, okay, that the camera is a therapy tool. Okay, and I know it is, because everyone who's taking a selfie or some picture who they like and they post online, okay, and then they got a lot of reactions from someone, they got that dopamine hit. It makes them feel better, it makes them feel happier. That's why they want all those sexy pictures. The nude photography, it is slightly on a different side. I think boudoir creates a dopamine hit, this type of a direction. Boudoir, glamour, boudoir, when you do not expose yourself, okay? When you do not have to do much. The studios where you have to do everything, it's on fingers to count. When you seriously committing, right, and making this as a, how to say, as a sexual art work, when you're just taking a nude picture and using just few lights, and that person is just like this chair when you put, in front of your background, and just pose it and light it, this is one type of the work. Okay, nothing wrong with that. It is also takes bravery to do that, to go and dress. Very often to people I'm saying that these areas would not be visible, this ones we will cover, and how to say, it's maybe a light in here, but the settings which I use is going to be very contrasty and dark, in some areas, and they trust me and they believe me, right? But they still need to go, with their naked willy or with their boobs and vaginas to the point where they take, you know, and create that scene, right? And they stand on that set. So it is uncomfortable to the point. If you not connect with that person on that day, on that shoot, you would not move anywhere else. Just making that simple, how to say, simple experience. That's why when I do some post on social media, I sometimes say this is not the thing what you think it is, okay? Because this is something else, right? When you go into this uncomfortable zone and actually digging about your imperfections and trying to work with your body on that set to create that sexual energy. Okay, this is what we're missing. This is what is the problem. And if we are erotic photographers or nude photographers, I want to tell everyone that our job is to represent that nude body. And nude body is alive when? When it has the energy. That's when it is alive. Okay, otherwise it's going to be an object, a simple object. You will put a pole or a lampstand, and the body it's the same. So that's why for me it is important that that person at that moment would be in the zone and create that energy, because it will be sensitive to the whole experience. And you later, and that person later will feel that this energy is placed in that image, because that brain will give that information even many years after. So that's why it is important. They will remember, of course, this photo shoot, but it will be more stronger and more memorizable if you put that effort. So I suggest and I advise every erotic photographer start working and sharing this information and developing, creating that sexual energy. Of course, they need to start from themselves. Okay? It is very simple. And that's it, you know? It's very simple. So we can sense this and we can feel it and we can control this. How you would see some kind of like a movie, right? Which creates this illusion. Or you will see the concert or some celebrity, right? Selling something. This is sexual energy. They know how to move their vehicle, they know how to use their body. It is there. Okay, and what this century doesn't have this life energy, the sexual energy. And people, they forgot about this. They do not remember. They do not know what to do with it, how to control it, and in general, how to restore it and how to create it. That's why I am, analyzing this subject and working with my couples and working with the models and trying to help. That's why I'm making this video, trying to explain that, you know what, you can change anything. You can put your boobs, you can put your ass, you can buy, a new car. It does not represent the sexual energy. It will not make your life happier. Okay, because the sexual energy is something what fulfills you from the deepest of your heart, and it's visible on your face. Are you happy or not? Okay, it's like faking an orgasm. Hmm? Yes, people learn through the life to fake this. But if you would have a chance, if you have a choice, would you fake it? If someone will tell you about this and you would start thinking and you start working on yourself, would you be able? I think so. I think so. So that's why I'm saying it is very important, because the energy doesn't go anywhere. It stays. That's why the artwork lasts. Okay, many artwork stays for centuries. Why? Because that person who created this piece, no matter what it is, a painting, a sculpture, a furniture, no matter what it has a very strong energy generator. Okay? And that's it is. That's the love, that's the passion. The reason why I speak about this, because I enjoy and I am turned on about, the things I do and discover with those people who are shooting with me. And in general, this is such a sensitive topic, which no one is a specialist about this. When I studied medicine, okay, to become a doctor, I studied 7 years. In 7 years, not a single time I heard someone mention about the energy field, you know? And of course, because it was so, how to say, hidden, okay, the topic that our professors did not want to discuss, okay? It drive me insane. I wanted to know more and more and more about this. Okay, so I was looking for this information. I was looking for information how people can get cured from the horrible diseases, and no one knows the answer. Okay? By what? How? How people can restore their energy, how they can reproduce, and how they can, go back into the healthy and happy, wealthy life. How? So I was digging, of course, and the only thing I realized is that this is it. So my photography, it's not just for a beauty. Of course, beauty will save the world, and I need to represent that. That's why I'm working it. But not everything what is eye pleasing. The art doesn't have to be beautiful. Okay, it has to be real and honest. Doesn't have to be fake. Yes, we can manipulate. That's why we're learning those skills to play around and make an illusions, right? To create an amazing sensation, okay? And to bring that experience. Nude photography is something where you can just press the button, right? And make, like I say, this fish and chips. Quick and easy. That's how people in their head see erotic photography. Okay, they see that yesterday one guy from America, okay, was trying to book a shoot. Not was trying, he wanted to book a shoot. Okay. But in his head, he was asking me, is there any pictures of me on the website? He said he got turned on when he was looking at my gallery, which I know that it is exactly this way. Okay, when I had web developers, they could not work on my gallery and on my website because they say they can't, it takes too much of the agitation and everything, and I understand, and I let those people go, because you need a very strong control about the sexual information. Imagine if I would lose control. There are some people who having a great sex life. Seriously, even I, if I let myself go, I would get turned on, and what kind of a pictures or scenarios or files and images and videos we will produce if I lose myself. So the first thing what I learn is very, very strong self-control, that I will be in on point in every situation that will be created. And you know that sexual energy is the hardest to control. Can you control the turn on man, a turn on couple? I can. That's why we do not have these professionals in this field, because people cannot control their body, their sexuality. They cannot take over on anyone else. That's why we do not have women who shoot adult content, nude photography without limitations, because this is fucking hard. If you're making a fish and chips, this is another thing. You can say, okay, now pants down, you have 2 minutes. One guy was telling me how he was presented to this erection shots. You have 2 minutes. He got so scared that he couldn't, he did had an erection, he told me, but he was so much in shock. And that's why I'm saying, everyone, that it's an individual. Those people are damaged. Majority of them have a situation. And if you are not in this situation, you cannot help them. So going back to this guy who texted me about the photo shoot, he asked me if there is any nude pictures of me on the website. Can you imagine? And the majority think this way, that I'm doing it just because I wanna, wank in front of, after the shoot or something. That this is not a job for me. Okay, and I asked him, would you go to proctologist Okay. And would you ask him to examine, his arts? Would that be a normal thing for you? He was like, "Oh, I don't know what you mean." I said, "Okay, if the cameraman would be a guy, would you ask him?" He would say, "I would not go." Okay. So it is so humiliating. Listen to those, who think that you are doing all those things for the wrong reasons, and that is another very big thing why the ladies could not last in this business, because the amount of the amount of the things that they will hear towards you. Okay, they coming to show off, to jerk off, and how to say, and enjoy themselves, and they want to do it cheap. Okay, that's the situation of the fish and chips. Yeah. And when they hear the price that I'm Michelin, then all these clients, just leave. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, because this is a very special service. So if you are doing something like that, and you have a reason that you are doing something like that, you should evaluate it even more, because fish and chips, there will be many people who would not be able to cook more. Okay, and there will be a lot of people who are happy to serve these clients and sell fish and chips, and still are. Okay, but I am here thinking quite deeper about this. I am telling you now that there is a problem with the sexual energy in our society. That is why we do not have normal relationship. That is why we do not have connections. That is why we cannot restore our families. Okay, because people are in control, not in control of their body and of their sexual energy, and what they do is they look constantly elsewhere, outside themselves. They cannot produce it. They do not put any effort in any action into how to do it for themselves first, so then they can share and they can connect. They think and they go and look for someone else. That's why we have this porn industry, which is 80% of online content. Because 80% of online content is a very big number. But someone, how to say, is financing those, right? Producers, creators. And there are millions of them. Okay? For what reason? Because they are not able to restore their energy, sexual energy being wasted and being used. So they're going in and start looking for someone else just to get that stimulation, to get that, because the sexual energy is life. It is inspiration. It is a creation. Your creativity goes into your intellect, right? And that's how, you have this circle. So imagine if you are that person who finally get that information and the data with the professional during that photo shoot, right? Which we will create. We are able to change the whole thing. If there will be more people like me understanding why everyone is doing an erotic photo shoot. Okay? Why? First thing is to get that hit, a dopamine hit, right? When we speak about sexy shots, that people want to feel sexy, they want a reaction. They want a reaction from themselves that someone else will create this for them. They will pay money and go to see erotic photographer. Okay? So someone else create that information for themselves. But what if the photographer would be so knowledgeable that it can explain? Or like me, for example, I'm not having those lectures, right? I'm mentioning one thing or two about sexual energy during the consultation, but that is a very, how to say, in-depth process. I cannot assess the person straight away. The things what I see is only during doing something in a photo shoot. Only when they start, shooting with me, I can see what is the situation and how it looks like. And that is why it was like that. That is why. But the majority who comes to my studio, everyone's saying the same thing. I don't know how to be sexy, or I am not sexy, or I am not good, or I am not, and this negativity kills me. Okay? It kills me. If people are looking at my gallery in my website and think that everyone who is sexy in there and I create sexy content, everyone is a model. Okay, that's how they think. The mentality is that only model can create sexy shots. Okay? And they not. So I am here to prove that they're wrong. And I am here to work towards that sexual energy creation, going into that, the main problem, all these symptoms, what they don't like this about themselves, they don't like this about themselves. It is not important at the end of the day how you look. It is not even important if you're young or old. It is not important your body. If you are sexy, you will be happy and successful in your life. If you are sexy, if you can translate that sexual energy, if you're not wasting it, if you know how to restore it, if you know how to share with someone, if you know what to do with it, if you're in control, okay, your sexual experience in life will be different. Okay, it's not that we only here to eat and to make money to pay mortgages. It is not, right? The very big part in our life missing when we go into that maturity, when we reach that stage, when you understand that you need that data, the extra data, it all comes into your body through your mind. And all these limitations transform you and make you in a certain shape, make you with the certain images and limits. Yeah, you dressing the certain way, you moving the certain way, you giving other or certain different signals, your body language and the way you keep yourself is inside. Everything is about that, okay? The sexiness sells, right? And we are here to sell ourselves to ourselves and sell ourselves to someone else, right? Sell our ideas or sell our decisions or sell our, future plans or something. But it constantly is about that. When you stop creating, then you're dead. So, this energy is very important. That's what I'm saying, okay? And that's how I want to explain that there is no one pill that I can give you, because every person, every individual is different hormone level, different bringing up level, different development, everything is different. Okay, you need to feel it and understand when it comes from. When you understand that it comes from energy level, you can create a really great art. Okay, when it comes from you, from your energy towards that person. Okay, and when energy combines, you have to feel it, right? This is through the feeling. And if you're not feeling that person with who you're shooting, then it's better not to have this photo shoot. Okay, because it's going to be hard, right? So thank you so much for watching. This was about nude photography and about the energy. Love you, kiss you, bye, mean it. Mwah.